Hello, I am Dave Larrivee. I'm joined with Bill Nawn, and we are live here at the Bedford Bulldogs Stadium to watch Bedford High School girls take on the Central Pride girls in the first round of the playoffs. It is playoff time, and it's been a long season, and both teams have struggled mightily to get to this point, and we are here in the Bulldog Stadium to watch Bedford, who sports a second position seed, take on Central, who is 15th, I believe. Bill, what do you see out there tonight?
Well, I think it's going to probably play true to form. Central's had a mixed season. Haven't really gotten much of a winning streak going. They've had better years. I think Coach Winters has really had some great teams in the past. They've had a tough go of it the last few years, and their ranking starting this playoffs kind of reflects that.
Well, it's like a lot of sports. This is a big league. There's a lot of teams, and even in the boys, I think it's true, and even some of the divisions, there seems to be a very wide spread of talent. It's not like you've got a 12th seeded team and a 3rd seeded team where you've got that close of a talent level. It seems to be there's a big spread. Have you seen that this year and in other years?
I think it depends on as talent moves through. It seems to come in bunches. But overall, there's probably a good gap between the top, any given year, 3 or 5 teams. Then there's a middle of the pack that's a segment away.
Right.
And unfortunately, due to some of the schools, there's a few at the bottom.
Right. And it changes. There are teams that were, I think Trinity, your daughter played at Trinity last year. They were a contender, if I was not mistaken. And then this year they've had a tough year. So you lose 2 or 3 seniors, and you don't have a strong junior cadre of players coming in, and you got to start all over.
A lot of teams, a lot of schools do suffer from those waves. There are a few that seem to minimize the number of years that they're really on the downside.
Right.
I think Bedford is one of those that's going to have a good stretch for a number of years. They've had young talent coming up. They're now juniors, but they're sophomore and freshman class.
Right.
There's a couple of, I believe, good freshman guards that are on the team.
Yep.
So I think they'll be good for a few years stretch here.
Right. Well, we're looking forward to the game. The fans are starting to pile in, and we're looking forward to an exciting game here. And thank you for joining. We'll be back with you in a few minutes. And we are back in action for the start of the first game of the playoffs for the NHIAA Division I Girls Championship. The Central Little Green versus the Bedford Bulldogs, and we have action starting right off. And Bill, what do you see?
Well, first round playoffs are always an opportunity to see how teams settle in. Everybody's got a little bit of jitters in the first rounds. It doesn't really matter what the rankings are. It'll be interesting to see how they set up.
Any key matchups?
I think it'll be interesting to watch the post play with McKenzie Brown and Catherine Johnson, who was out earlier in the year when these two teams first met. We'll see how that plays out in the post.
As the tip-off, Bedford controlling the ball. And we have Allie up top, Allie Glennon with the ball.
Central coming out in a man.
Yep, good. Yeah, and Bedford likes to play against the man. They've got some athletes here, and we'll see how they do and see if they're able to get the ball down low right there.
We're going into the post right away to...
Looked like we had a little mismatch on there. Number 22 was guarding McKenzie Brown, and she took her right to the hoop. Back in action here. Bedford looks to be extending a 2-3 zone and tips the ball. Central keeps possession. And looks like we switched into a little man-to-man after that.
Coming out of the out of bounds and tough, close guarded man-to-man, Bedford is.
Little Green had a good game, what looked to be a good game on paper, losing by 14 points to Bedford in the home opener at Central. And there's a block by McKenzie Brown, gets the rebound, scoop, and puts it up. She'll be going to the line for 2.
Catherine Johnson's a tough rebounder. She tracks the ball well. I think she's going to be able to make some make some hay down there, and either that or get to the line like she did there.
Yep, that was a nice block by McKenzie, but a nice heads-up rebound by Catherine Johnson. Hits the first one. We are now at scored at 2-1 with 7 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the half, and it's going to be interesting to see who gets into the groove here for early on in the game. Catherine Johnson on the line for a second shot is good. No little half-court pressure here, picking it up man-to-man. See what Bedford can do. Moving the ball around, cut to the hoop. What a nice take. Oh,
good strong take.
Nice move by Allie Glennon. Couldn't finish off the layup. Ooh, nice steal by.
Another deflection by McKenzie Brown, taking it full court.
Oh, another missed layup, though. That's 2 in a row. It's a little
Talk about some of those early playoff game jitters.
Yeah. Bedford, first year in Division I. Could be a little bit of jitters. And a travel.
Well, there again, Megan Cleary for Central was guarding McKenzie Brown. I would have thought they'd have Catherine Johnson deep in the post with her. We'll see how if that stays the same, but they've gone to McKenzie twice. She definitely has the height advantage against Megan Cleary of Central.
5'10" versus 5'8" at Catherine Johnson versus the 6'1" McKenzie Brown. There's a turnover. Down court. And, oh boy, nice pass. Nice cut and pass. Backdoor.
Nice weak side cut. An even better look.
Yep, really nice find there. And ball moving around. There's a ball in the post. Ooh, she goes up. That's a good looking shot. Doesn't get it off.
Collins pulling up.
Collins, a very good shooter. Oh, nice pass. McKenzie Brown on the baseline. Cutting, wide open. Didn't see the pass. They're going to pull it out, start over.
That's where you got to have both. Good cuts, but you have to have the look to get the pass into the cutter.
It's a little bit forced. Rachel Collins, nice move to the hoop. Oh, and blocked from behind. Nice play. Good up fake, but a nice defensive play.
If Central's going to stay in the man-to-man, they're going to have to be conscientious of that weak side help.
Nice deep shot. Only 2, but puts Bedford up 6-2 here with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. A couple of missed layups, and this would be a bit of a different game, but Central staying in it. On the man-to-man, nice cut to the hoop. Off the side of the backboard. And pushing the ball down the court. Rachel Collins. Oh, nice pass. Nice find and one. Nice finish.
That time, Central brought the weak side help over to the strong side to help the drive to the hoop. No rotation, so that weak side cutter was able to get the inside dish for a nice finish, and now possibly three-point play. The old-fashioned way.
Yeah, absolutely. Before they had, back in our day, actually, I think both of our days, they didn't have that three-point line. So the N1s were for real.
Always the hard way.
So we're taking a break in action here with a timeout. 4 minutes and 55 seconds to go. Bedford sporting an 8-2 lead here in the first playoff game. And what do you think about the tempo here? What are you seeing?
Well, as expected, they're beginning to settle in, feel each other out, see what the defense is going to give you. Bedford early on has been able to take advantage of some nice weak side cuts. Central seems to be sticking with a pretty deliberate and looking to get it into the post play of Catherine Johnson.
Yep. Interestingly here, that was not a shooting foul. That was a call after the rebound as they took the ball out of bounds. That's going to be a jump ball possession to the little green, and now we got a little full court action here.
Bedford mixing it up early. They had started in an extended zone and then went to man-to-man, and now they're getting some early advantage of the pressure.
Nice steal and a converted layup by Haley Driscoll. And a rebound, and we got some numbers here. McKenzie Brown with a nice bounce pass. Ooh, that almost
might have
looked
been
like
one too many passes, but they got away with it.
That's okay. So that's that now opens up a 12-2 lead here. This is what Coach Thomas was looking for: is early pressure and some early conversions. It's a nice move in the middle, good pass, and a nice conversion by Katherine Johnson. Conrad bringing the ball up. Glennon on the wing. McKenzie Brown at the post. Turning, looking, squaring up the hoop. Moving the ball around to Conrad. Glennon up top. To moving the ball around to Rachel Collins. Deep three. Oh, and a rebound. Oh, and a foul. And nope, no fouls there. We're back in action. Caroline Conrad up top, swings around, passes out to Allie Glennon, who drives the hoop across the corner to McKenzie Brown, who nails the 15-footer. That's got to be tough if she's making those jump shots.
If she's able to step out along the baseline and knock down a mid-range jumper, that's very difficult to guard.
And a nice cross pass and
nice
an
take
air
by
ball.
Samantha Gunther.
Yeah, just had a big in
front of her.
Little
strong in front of the net.
Allie Glennon up top. Over to McKenzie Brown. Looks for the pass. Into Haley Driscoll. Off the foot. And we have some subs coming in for Central, giving some of the starters a breather. With 3 minutes left in the game, and Bedford with a 14-4 lead. Ball underneath. Oh, McKenzie Brown gets it on the block. Turnaround jump hook. Converted. 16-4.
Central's going to have to make it a little tougher than that for the points.
Nice deep shot there by number 22, Amanda Goudreau.
Amanda Goudreau.
Goudreau, yeah. And there's a nice cut around the. Ooh, little travel call.
Amanda Goudreau is actually a freshman, promising future.
Yeah, it was a nice play. A little travel call there. I saw a good move, but that's not how the ref saw it. And a little full court pressure here.
Bedford doing a nice job of mixing up their defenses so Central can't get used to any one particular set.
Yeah, this point guard here, Devin LaCroix, is a freshman getting some playoff experience here, which is good. And a downtown shot, number 34 over the back, no call. Kenzie Brown controlling the rebound. Out to Rachel Collins, back to Caroline Conrad, who's going to settle it in. Allie Glennon up top, the ball. Interesting that they've got her guarding Allie Glennon. I think your observation is right. They're going to try to get the size on McKenzie early on, and maybe keep out of foul trouble for their big gun. Maybe.
I mean, they're going to have to go deep with Katherine Johnson. She's going to have to play a lot of minutes, so it may be an early strategy to maybe avoid, knowing that Bedford's probably going to go fairly often to McKenzie.
Right, and it's already changed, as we can see. So Katherine Johnson's now guarding McKenzie Brown. This is Bree Purcell, part of the freshman squad. Nice move and pass. Nice pass. Haley Driscoll couldn't convert. Nikki Tucci almost with the putback. And we've got Bree Purcell in at the point, playing the fellow freshman guard, LaCroix, in a matchup of small freshmen at the point.
Devin LaCroix is actually the younger sister of Olivia LaCroix, who was a great Central women's player. She now plays at Simmons College.
Oh, really? What a nice pass. What nice passing there by the Bedford squad for streaking Nikki Tucci. Converts the lefty layup. We are now at 18-6 with 1:13 to go in the first quarter. Almost got tripped up there. Oh, that's a double dribble. But again, you gotta like seeing freshmen getting experience in a playoff game. Bodes well for the future.
It does, and Central is really going to need to do that to help try and get some of the former competitiveness that they had back, is to get some of those younger players in and experienced.
Yep.
Same for Bedford,
yep.
Certainly.
Yep. Nice cut there. Ooh, forced that one and stepped out of bounds, unfortunately for Central.
Too bad they had that turnover, but lost it back.
And we're back in action here. Bedford at the ball underneath their own basket. Deflected, still Bedford ball. Just under a minute to go in the first period. And man-to-man defense in here, trying to set some picks and get the ball started here. Haley, oh, nice move. What a nice step around that is. Haley Driscoll, very athletic for a 4, and number 34, Mary Soar, is going to have a tough time keeping up with her, I think. Downtown, look good. Number 5, Angela Marazzi, nailing the three-pointer, keeping them somewhat close, 20-9.
That might have been a travel on the take. Seems to let it go, but Central is getting some outside looks. If they can continue maybe to turn some of those, they can get this from keep this game from getting out of hand early.
McKenzie Brown with another turnaround layup. 13 seconds to go here. Nice crossover dribble there by LaCroix. Soares not too excited to be having the older McKenzie Brown on her. Oh, nice cut. Oh, nice help defense. Ooh, and a travel call. That was could have gone the other way, I think.
That was an interesting call.
At the buzzer, too. So Bedford ends the first quarter with a 22-9 lead here. And Bedford sort of showing some of the aggression and sort of good team defense. That was a nice slide that happened there. But she cut to the basket. Nikki Tucci went for the steal. And you had 2 Bedford players cutting to the line. So I think some good defense. Anything else you sort of observed out there in the first quarter?
Bedford is certainly taking the game to Central. As I mentioned before, they're mixing up the defenses very well, including some full court pressure, and they've been able to capitalize on that, which has helped push this lead up to where it is at the end of the first quarter.
Right.
And they have moved the ball well. The ball has found the open player in many instances, and that's a good job of running offenses as well as being aware of where to look. That's going to continue to give Central some pretty tough defensive challenges. Central needs to be able to get inside a little bit more, but as you mentioned, with the size of McKenzie Brown, they're not as, I don't think, going to find much success, but in order to get around that, they need to widen the floor so that they can potentially get some open lanes to the hoop.
And they've hit some outside shots. So
that'll help bring people out.
Yep. Bree Purcell up top with the jumper and the rebound. Oh, looks for the pass. Deflected. We get some numbers here for Central. Nice jump stop there. Ooh, over the hard shot, and we got Maggie McGowan out, the senior captain with a lot of experience. Looks like she's going to be swinging at the 2 guard and stretch pass over the top to Maggie. Allie Glennon, swing over to McKenzie Brown, but a nice rebounding position there. Couldn't convert by Maggie McGowan. Got to take her time on that shot. And LaCroix bringing the ball up the court. Soares at the corner, making a move on the baseline to an open Megan LaForge, who misses the jump shot. And, a little bump there. Bree Purcell looking for the baseline pass, gets bumped. It's going to be Bedford ball. And Catherine Johnson back in the game for Central. Got a quick break, but as you pointed out, I don't think she's going to get too many of those during this game if they're going to stay in it.
Coach Winters will, I'm sure, try and time her substitutions out a few minutes before the end of a quarter so she gets a little bit of benefit from the break.
Nice drive to the hoop by McKenzie Brown, and once again that cagey McGowan in there for the rebound. She gets that caginess from her father, Mike McGowan, who has in other programs, Mike, that you may have not seen on TV. We have this thing called the Mackey point. It's for an ill-advised shot that's thrown up during a game, and that's after her father, Mike McGowan. Fortunately for her, she does not follow in her father's footsteps. She doesn't take ill-advised shots like her father. But in any case, we're back in action. And Maggie McGowan, ball's bouncing around up top. That's going to be a jump ball.
Mike has certainly been known to have his ill-advised shots.
Yeah, never met a shot he didn't like, that guy. But here we are back in action. And full court pressure put on by the Bedford Bulldogs. Number 5, Angela Marazzi with the ball, trying to break the pressure down to LaCroix. And, it is a turnover. Bedford able with the long arms of their bigs to get a hand on the ball. And Allie Glennon swings it to Bree Purcell with a nice move to the middle. Doesn't convert. Maggie McGowan in there for another rebound, but doesn't pick up her third. And, there's the numbers. Maggie able to get a little backstop on that.
Opportunity missed there.
Yeah. And Croy putting a little pressure up top. So Bree with baseline pass. Ooh, good hustle plays here. A lot of scraping.
A lot of bodies on the floor. Good hustle.
That's what you want to see in playoff basketball. People diving for the ball. McKenzie Brown going to get a break. And timeout called by Bedford. One observation I've seen here, McKenzie's been having her way on the block, and it seems to me every single shot she's made has been on that left side of the hoop, going to her right, going to her strong right side. Actually, the right side of the hoop to her strong right. And it seems to me that the coach might want to put a little pressure on that, make her go left, because the times that she's gone left, she's turned and looked to pass. So we'll see if the coach picks up on that during the game.
As you know, Dave, it's a game of adjustments, and how can you respond to what the other team is having success with, and how can you capitalize? Central certainly needs to work on both. They had some fast break opportunities that if they can convert, I think they can find a little bit of success there.
Yep. Back in action, Maggie McGowan on the corner, swinging around the Nikki Tucci spin move. Haley Driscoll on the corner, Maggie McGowan driving to the hoop. Oh, and a pass to Nikki Tucci, puts it up, draws it just iron. LaCroix with the rebound. Purcell giving us some pressure. And
staying very close with her.
Yep.
Not a lot of daylight.
And a foul called as Johnson makes a move to the hoop. That's going to be on Allie Glennon. I think that's her first. Megan Cleary in there. She's the 5'10" senior. And ball up top, Johnson looking to try to get something going here.
That's not where she's best. They need to get her inside the paint.
Absolutely. Oh, the nice pick and play there. Good switch and a steal by Bree Purcell.
Quick hands on
out
Purcell.
Front. And whoa, nice take by Bree Purcell. Gets fouled by Johnson going to the hoop. Great steal by the young freshman. Almost converted, but it will be going to the line for two. Number 15 starter Samantha Gauthier looking to check back in, along with Amanda Goudreau, another freshman out there on the field. Good experience to get in here in the playoff time as a freshman for both squads. It's the future. The fact that they're even on the team makes something, because there's JV players that are wishing they had that spot. So kudos to both coaches for getting some young talent out here early on in the playoff schedule. Bree Purcell will be back on the line, shooting 2. Looks like we have a question by the referees trying to work out. And back in action here.
They're getting the alternating possession arrow corrected.
Okay. Thank you for that update. And Bree Purcell will be on the line here for 2. Nice shot by Bree. As Bill, you may know, I coached some of these girls coming up the line in the travel basketball. So Bree and Nikki, along with Courtney O'Connell, were my squad for many years. And is this almost a steal? Good hustle there by Bree Purcell on her missed shot.
I'm glad to see that those girls have thrived despite your coaching.
Oh, and the first barb is thrown. There's a turnaround. Nice release off the hand there.
Yeah, that's a very signature move by Katherine Johnson. Natural advantage being a lefty. You have a little bit more of a space and opening to get that shot off, because most people are not used to defending against the left.
Yep. And she's got that sort of way back shot that even the bigs are going to have a tough time getting to. Back in action, 23-9 with 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go. Bedford controlling the ball. Rachel Collins back in there. Haley Driscoll, Allie Glennon. Oh, nice pass. We got double team there. Allie Glennon losing it. And a jump shot. Oh, good hustle there by Bree. She's getting in on a lot of action on the rebounds.
Bedford's being aggressive on the offensive glass. And that doesn't bode well for Central, because it doesn't allow them to get out and run. which would be to their advantage before Bedford gets set up in a half-court defense. They've had difficulty against the half-court defense.
A little carry action not caught by the refs, and we got Haley Driscoll off. And a nice pass to Rachel Collins, able to finish the basket. 25-9 here with 4 minutes left in the half.
Bedford has gotten the benefit of a number of transition points. They run well, they keep their head up, they get the ball to open people ahead of them.
Okay, ball's up top. This freshman, that's a foul. Freshman Amanda Gaudreau cut into the hoop, gets fouled. Also in the game, we have Caitlin Vincent, the 10th grade guard, taking the ball out of the basket. And we have some new entrants into the game here for Bedford. We got Caroline Conrad coming in. And Gabrielle Hunter, the turnover there.
Central a little sloppy with the ball that they can't afford, and Bedford returns the favor.
Mary Soares back in the game. Both coaches getting some substitutions going here as we head towards the end of the second half and prepare for end of the first half as we prepare for the second half. Number 15, Samantha Gauthier, and there's that jump shot. Catherine Johnson, that's a signature shot. You said she's hitting it pretty well here. Oh, nice
tough take. Very nice take against traffic.
Haley Driscoll just bowling her way right to the hoop for an open layup. 27-11, 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go here. And Central moving the ball around. Nice pick. That looked like travel, no call. Gauthier with the ball up top. And we got a little deny ball here. And we'll see what Catherine Johnson can do against McKenzie Brown. Doesn't have a lot of options there. And we got a 5-second call coming here at some point.
It should get close.
It was 5-second call. She tried for timeout, knew the time was expiring, but unfortunately ref had already signaled the 5-second call for a turnover. Bedford with the ball. Caroline Conrad up top. Over to Gabby Hunter. Over to Rachel Collins, moving the ball around the corner. Back to Caroline. Down in the corner, Rachel Collins likes that shot and tries to get to the hoop and was stopped, and that's a foul.
A little too aggressive trying to get after the ball.
Samantha Gauthier had played some good D, but ruined it with a little reach in at the end there. We are not going to get into the bonus here. It looks like maybe another couple fouls. Bedford inbounding the ball. And tough pass. Hit out by Johnson. Bedford ball
Must have been, and Bedford retains possession.
Don't like to see some little more crisply executed out of bounds plays here by Bedford.
If they hope to go deep into the playoffs, some of this will need to tighten up.
Yep, and that's a play for her to shoot the ball up top, and she makes the move to the hoop. A reach in, looks like Gauthier might be. Nope, that was not Gauthier. That was Soares with the foul. Going to the hoop. Rachel Collins will be shooting 2 foul shots here.
They apparently called it on the floor, so this will just be the 6th team foul and ball out of bounds for Bedford.
Well, that was a out of bounds play gone a foul, and they're back in action here. See if they can get the ball down low. Driscoll's working like she wants it. Oh, nice pass and cut.
There again, a nice weak side cut.
Really nice, very good court awareness. Oh, Kenzie
Tough
Brown
turnover.
Finishes the steal and layup. 29-11. You can't afford that kind of turnover here.
It's tough enough for Central. These mistakes and turnovers are only going to make it worse. You need to take care of the ball much better.
And we got a dead ball situation here up top. Gauthier moving the ball to 20 to Amanda, a nice freshman, and McKenzie again outrunning the competition. Caroline Conrad pausing. Driscoll launches a high. Oh, hit the
off the stanchion, so
support
called out of play.
And here we have Courtney O'Connell seeing some action here with 1:25 to go in the second period. Bedford up 29-11, and Central needs to get a couple of baskets here, try to make this a 15-point game going into the second half.
Bedford seems to be a little disjointed in what defensive set they want. Settled in now. Looks like they're in an extended, maybe 3-2.
I think it's man-to-man we got going here.
Maybe that's what was somewhere in the zone, and some should have been
a nice
man.
move. Oh, nice move by the freshman, Amanda Goudreau. Get the ball in down low. Oh boy.
Gets the putback.
Got it done. That was a two-hander.
Had some English on that to get over the rim.
Yeah, the little top spin. Yeah, you know, I seem to remember you having a little top spin on your jump shot. Did you teach her that maybe back from the day?
I don't remember having any top spin.
No? All right. Well, yeah.
Maybe it was the backspin on the finger roll over you coming down the lane.
Oh, a little trash talking going here as we have 33 seconds left to go in the half.
Be nice for Central to end with a good offensive possession, take a little bit of positive energy into the half.
Absolutely. So Bedford's back in some man-to-man, and LaCroix bringing the ball up. Marazzi on the side. Goudreau on the corner. Vincent and Gauthier looking for a shot with 18 seconds left. Gauthier with the ball up top. LaCroix cutting, and another costly turnover. Not what they can afford.
I'm sure Coach Winters will make a point of getting him to take care of the ball a little better in the second half.
Shoot it, and the step back. The step back.
It was good. McKenzie Brown hits a very tough step back three from a few feet beyond three.
I'm going to say, I'm looking at that black line. That's past the NBA three-point line. That might have been Bill Nawn territory right there, if I'm not mistaken.
It could be approaching that zip code.
So that puts the Bedford Lady Bulldogs up 32-13. The end of the first half, not what Coach Winters was looking for. That'll be it for this part of the segment. We'll join you in a few minutes with some half-time updates. Dave Larrivee and Bill Nawn signing out. We're back here at the Bedford Bulldog Stadium here with a few minutes left before the beginning of the second half, where the Bedford Lady Bulldogs are taking on the Central Little Green. I'm Dave Larrivee, and I'm joined by Bill Nawn. And we want to talk a little about what we saw in the first half of action. Bedford with a 32-13 lead. We had McKenzie Brown draining a step-back three with no time left on the clock. Got to be hard for the Central girls to handle that. What are your thoughts, Bill?
Well, that was a tough turnaround of opportunities. Central could have come down, had a nice offensive possession, but unfortunately, again, what's plagued them in the first half has been the turnovers, which led to Bedford having an opportunity, which led to that three-pointer. So a little bit of salt in the wound for the first half as the Little Green heads into the locker room. I'm sure, as I said before, that Coach Winters will be hitting a few of the points that they need to focus on for the second half, and certainly minimizing the turnovers will be probably number one.
Right. And Sue Thomas, Coach Thomas for the Bedford Bulldogs. Obviously, you can't be unhappy with, or too unhappy with a almost 30-point lead. Almost 20-point lead in the first half. You had some of the things you wanted to see happen work. You had McKenzie Brown on the baseline. She's got 13 points in the first half. You got some balanced scoring with Haley Driscoll with 8 points and Rachel Collins with 8 points. They had quite a few fast break baskets. We didn't track that, but God, they had to have 12 points at least on breakaways.
I would agree, at least that many for turnovers and transition points. Really, I would say are probably at least half their points from the first half are on transitions, whether rebounds and fast breaks, turnovers that they're capitalizing on. And it's with a game that seems to be in hand at least, and they continue to get what they want. I would think Coach Thomas's focus is to keep the team focused, so that They still execute to the degree that she wants them to. They still have the intensity that they'll need to have. It's a tough thing to guard against playing down to competition if you really seem to be dominating another team.
Absolutely, and you know, as we look forward in the schedule here, you know, Bedford having the second seed, and as we looked at the schedule, Bishop Girton's got the 16 seed Timberlane. We've got Bedford taking on the 15th seed with Central. You've got Pinkerton taking the 14th seed, and finally Londonderry with the 13th seed in Nashua. So not sure that we're expecting any surprises here in the first round, certainly for the top four. But as you look at the schedule here of games, where do you see there being some potential upsets?
I think in Bedford's bracket, Pinkerton is possible, although they played them just a few weeks ago. Bedford did at home here, and 16-point victory, fairly comfortable.
Yep. We called the game on that one. It was a comfortable win.
So was it as
it was
in hand as it?
It was in hand, and it was you know, as Coach Thomas tends to do, she gets some players some playing experience.
Alvern could be a surprise because they didn't play him during the regular season, so it would be the first time. And any time you're playing against a team that you haven't seen yet, there could be a possibility. Although I think the seeding will stay fairly true to form on both halves of the brackets, and we would expect to see, not that you want to look too far down the bracket, but would probably expect to see a BG Bedford final.
Well, we'll have to see how that pans out, and we'll return to action here shortly at Bedford Bulldog Stadium. And we're back in action here, folks. Central taking the ball out right in front of Mark Marinelli, folks. Let's give a shout out to Mark Marinelli. Has anyone ever seen him wear pants?
I can't say that I ever have, and his daughter Nikki and my daughter Leah have played basketball through AAU in school for at least 15 years, and I've never seen him in anything but shorts in the coldest of temperatures.
It's not like we've got a blizzard going on outside. With a nice move by Catherine Johnson to her left, she is a lefty, and hits the jumper over McKenzie Brown. We got a little fire in the Central players here, looks like. Oh, and a nice feed and dump.
Trying to pick up the intensity a little bit.
But that's just got to hurt. The Bedford squad swings it out to Rachel Collins, hits her patented 20-footer open jumper, nothing but net, to score the first basket of the half.
Central made an initial nice stop on Haley Driscoll's drive, but then let him off the hook by the kick out to Collins.
Nice little play there. Nice steal by McKenzie Brown to Rachel Collins and throws it back. McKenzie hits the nice open 10-footer. And Catherine Johnson, a little outside her range on that one. Bedford pushing the ball down the court. McKenzie Brown with the ball in the paint, swings it around to Allie Glennon. Back to Rachel Collins, and looks like they're going to set it up. Swings it around to Driscoll, cuts to the hoop, in a corner for Glennon. Driscoll,
Bedford
long rebound.
continuing to own the boards on both ends, really.
A little turnover there. Ooh. That's a nice take.
Very nice. Very tough take against pressure.
Yeah, and that is Marazi. No, excuse me.
Catherine Vincent.
Catherine Vincent. The nice take to the
junior
hoop.
Guard.
With pressure, and Bedford commits a turnover, gives the ball back to the Little Green. It's 36-17 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter here. There's another steal. Allie Glennon, and a reach-in foul.
Not good for continuing the turnover plague for Central.
Right.
That was probably just as well a reasonable foul.
Right.
Bedford was on their way to a fast break point.
Absolutely. Goudreau follows up her turnover with the foul, but saves the open basket. Bedford takes the ball. Carolyn Conrad. Oh, and a steal by Catherine.
Good anticipation by Johnson.
Nice steal by Johnson for a breakaway layup. I think that's the first transition points for Central that I could think of.
Yeah, they haven't had few.
Ball moving around out top. Caroline Conrad cutting to the hoop. Rachel Collins deep. That's short. And Bedford on the boards, hustling. And that'll be a jump ball. Looked like we saw 3 white shirts and only 2 green shirts on the rebound there. That's going to be a problem.
One of the green shirts was underneath the white one, so Bedford is very aggressive on both ends, which has allowed them to really run. If you
nice
want to
move.
run, you have to control your own defensive boards.
A nice out of bounds play there. Brown taking the ball, quick step and a half, little running floater. Secures the basket for a 38-19 lead here. 5:21 to go in the third period. Number 22, the freshman, the ball, and Bree Purcell gets her hands in there for a layup and goes up against the bigger number 30. Sort of slowed down and let Cleary get into position. There's a nice lefty layup.
Nice take by Samantha.
Samantha Gauthier with a nice lefty layup there. And we got a little, looked like a half-court press. No. Ooh, there's a turnover. Smaller.
Central has turned up the intensity a little bit, and it's paying off for them. There's been 2 or 3 turnovers early by Bedford.
Yep.
They've been able to convert.
I'm sure this is the kind of pressure Coach Winters wanted to see out of his squad out of the get-go.
They had to step up. They were on their heels for most of the first half.
Absolutely. Oh, it was a nice pick-and-roll play. Oh, nice pick-and-roll. Unable to convert. Caught the ball a little underneath the basket. Couldn't get a good angle.
Johnson had to go to her right.
Nice move.
Not
nice
quite
pass.
as comfortable.
Oh, that's tough.
Where they find Bedford finds open people well.
That was a nice drive, aggressive drive by Driscoll to the hoop, and then found the open Brown for a little baseline 15-footer, which he converted very nicely. That's tough to beat when you're undersized and play. Oh, nice back door.
Nice back door.
Great.
Takes advantage of the little bit of over-aggressive defense.
Cleary with a backdoor cut and a really nice feed to finish the back door. So that gets us to a 17-point lead, 40-23. Coach Winters has got to be pleased with the spark that seems to have been ignited by the position they found themselves in at the end of the second quarter. And likewise, Coach Thomas probably not too happy.
I think Winters is very happy with how the Little Green has come out in the second half, and although they haven't been able to quite hold back Bedford's from capitalizing on the Central turnovers, they have been able to make some run, create some intensity on defense, which they've capitalized on. Sue, I'm sure, is trying to regroup and get them back to executing and not just getting caught up in the chaos that Central is attempting to invoke.
Well, and as we all know, the kind of this is nowhere close to the kind of intensity you're going to see the further you get along in the tournament. So how Bedford handles the pressure, and if you're the coach, this is a tie ball game. How you do from here on in is going to be emblematic of how you're going to handle the pressure in the playoffs.
And I'm sure she's going to see and be observing some of the younger players this might be some of their first playoff experience, how they handle it, so that she knows what type of combinations of players she can go with when it's much tougher as they proceed.
So Coach has got some different faces out on the court here early in the third period. Bree Purcell with an open 3. That looked like a good shot, and I think that's going to be a foul.
I think it'll be against
Offensive
Bedford.
Foul, yeah.
No, it isn't. It's against Catherine Johnson. Maybe a little aggressive boxing out underneath.
Yeah, that was on Gabby Hunter had position. She pushed her out of position there. Bedford, Nikki Tucci. It's the shot. Oh, nice rebound. That's a great, aggressive, athletic play by Haley Driscoll.
Central needs to create a little more space with their boxing out. They're, as we used to call it, rebounding by height, and they're not going to win that game against Bedford.
Right.
They're going to have to box and create space so they can get that rebound.
All right, so Bedford throwing some man-to-man defense at the Little Green. Nikki Tucci up top with Bree Purcell down low, and there's a bounce pass, just a little too hot to handle. Haley Driscoll pushing the ball up the court. And a nice shot. Couldn't convert, though. Haley Driscoll doing a nice job bringing the ball up the court.
Pushing the pace, which Central could take a lesson from.
Ooh, that's a tough call. Bree Purcell did have position, but was backing up a little bit here, I think, on the play.
I think she slid in, and Allie Glennon was moving with the Central. That's Megan Cleary, I believe, for Central. That good aggressive take.
Oh yeah,
I
that's.
think she got fortunate, and now she's at the line for 2.
Yep, and you gotta convert those foul shots though. But Central showing a lot more aggression, as you just mentioned, as we have 2 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the third period, with Bedford now a 16-point lead, 40-24. And here comes the pressure, and we got the freshman point guards, dueling freshman point guards, LaCroix versus Purcell.
Purcell showing a nice handle with the pressure.
Gabby Hunter up on the corner there, swings it around to Bree Purcell. A little pressure, Allie
little
Glennon
extended
up top.
1-3-1.
Basement pass. Oh, a nice pass. Oh, you got to shoot that down low. Kenzie, excuse me. Bree Purcell, the dump pass. I thought Driscoll should have taken the little 5-footer in the paint there, but she passed.
It's a
passed
tough balance between being aware of the open man and finishing off on an opening when you have it that close.
Yep, yep. And out of bounds play here. Bedford controlling the ball. And there's Driscoll with it's a reach.
Yep, little bump by Cleary as Driscoll was going to receive the pass.
Yep.
That's what happens when you follow a cutter towards the strong side. You need to be even, or at least have a hand in the passing lane.
So that's going to be I can't see from here. Is that the third? That's the third team foul. Second foul on her. She gets substituted out. Bedford up top, Nikki Tucci. And Driscoll up top around to Glennon with the ball. Picked up the ball up top. Nikki Tucci driving to the hoop. Nice take. Didn't quite finish. Ooh. Little loose ball action there. Cleary coming up with the rebound.
It's good to see Central be a little better about protecting their defensive, not giving Bedford too many opportunities on the offensive boards.
Yeah, much better quarter of basketball for the little green here. And that's going to be an offensive, a defensive foul.
No, I think it's going to be a.
Yep. Yep, she blew through the pick, didn't try to move around it, and the girl was positioned. So that's
Here comes a line change for Bedford.
Yep. So we've got a pretty bold, somewhat of a bold play, I think, with a 16-point lead in a playoff game. You've got all your freshmen getting into play here. We got Courtney O'Connell in, Rachel Collins, and but you do have 3 starters there, so that's a nice take. Good rebound there by the leaper, Courtney. She's a leaper like her mother and father. Both played Division I basketball at UNH. And Rachel Collins up top with the ball. Into the corner, Courtney O'Connell swinging the ball around. Maggie McGowan to Caroline Conrad. Over to Rachel Collins. Move to the hoop. Almost forgot something. And Maggie McGowan up top, swinging it around. They're moving it around. And that looked like travel.
Yep.
Good move to the hoop, but got tripped up.
A little tied up in the lane and took an extra step.
Yep. But
Bedford seems to be pretty deliberate in their ball movement.
Yep.
Coach Thomas may have sent a message wanting them to really execute.
Yep. All right, we got under a minute to go here in the third period. Ooh, a nice run on the baseline. Can't give the baseline away on the big. That's a foul. Rachel Collins trying to push the defense out a little bit. Marazzi there takes the foul. That's the Bedford's 3rd team foul. And
first on Collins.
First on Collins. We have 47 seconds. There's a tip. Nice tip there. Very athletic move. Very athletic move by Courtney O'Connell to tip the ball to a streaking Conrad, who was fouled on the baseline. It's going to be a possession. Bedford possession. Doing a 4-man line break here. And it's back, Maggie McGowan.
Have a little bit of a mismatch in there with
a little travel.
Unfortunately couldn't take advantage of it. But there was a mismatch with the much smaller Central player on McKenzie Brown.
Yep. Courtney a little anxious there. Had a nice move, but just dragged that pivot foot a little bit. That'll come as a freshman. You got to learn those things now. And a little 3-point shot. Maggie trying to box out, falls down. Maggie McGowan playing defense down to Conrad.
Central seeming to have a little difficulty getting some offensive flow going.
And
a lot of dribbling and unfortunately not a lot of passing.
Well, I think it looks to me like you've got Bedford playing some pretty aggressive D, and you know they had that one backdoor, which was a really nice play, and they got to look to that a little bit more if Bedford's playing a little aggressive on the man-to-man defense. 14 seconds left to go here. Maggie McGowan with the ball up top. She's going to see if they can get the shot that they want. Rachel Collins up top. 9 seconds left. McKenzie Brown looking for a court. And a deep, deep, deep didn't get any rim. A little outside the range there for Rachel Collins. That brings the end of play here at the Bedford Bulldogs Stadium, where the Bedford Lady Bulldogs with a 40-24 lead at the end of the third period.
And in this quarter here, Central was able to really kind of hold their own. If we remember what the score was to end the half and to begin the third period, third quarter, I believe they were almost down 20.
Right.
And now they've
Down
been
16.
able to eat it a little bit. You know,
Yep.
they're only down 16. So when you look at that quarter, they were really, with the intensity they came out with, Central did, they were able to play even and even gain a little bit on that.
And, you know, if you're Coach Thomas, you know, I think you only scored 8 points in the quarter. Not happy with that production.
Well, I think that's why she took that time out to kind of let the team know it.
Yep, yep. So we're back in action here. So beginning of the fourth period, and Bedford with a 16-point lead going into the final stanza. See if they can maintain and grow that lead against the Central Little Green. Back in action, we have LaCroix at the point. And that's another turnover.
A little bit of a miscommunication there, where Angela Maraza was looking to get it inside to Mary Suarez.
LaCroix here chasing the ball. Love to see the freshman getting some aggressive action here. A nice bounce pass. Rachel Collins open, sticks that one. Nice shooting form, great ball rotation.
Nice little inside outside to McKenzie, then back out to the open Collins.
LaCroix down low, Suarez, and LaCroix with a deep three. Driscoll with the rebound. Rachel Collins bringing the ball up. Caroline Conrad. Got all the starters back in for Bedford here right now. Coach trying to make a statement. And there's another open three for Rachel Collins.
She's getting some nice wide open looks, because when they get it into the paint for Bedford, Central defense collapses, leaving the wings open, and Collins knows that, so she sets up, and then they find her.
Central looks like they're struggling a little bit to get some flow and get the right person with the ball in the right spot here. Bedford defense pushing them out of their positions.
I think Wenner's surprised he doesn't have Catherine Johnson back in, at least to start the fourth period here.
Rachel Collins is feeling it. Gets the cross-court pass.
Yeah, I think Wenners has seen enough of Collins' open shots. He's going to be sending Catherine Johnson back in, because most of these passes out to the open Collins have been coming after a pass into the key, collapsing the defense for Central, forcing them to collapse, and then kicking out to an open wing shooter.
Well, Rachel Collins has shown all year long that she can hit the open jumper, and most of the defenses that have been put against Bedford have had to contend with the inside-outside game. And right now, with McKenzie having led the charge in the first half when the down low paint, down in the paint scores, it looks like Rachel Collins with at least 3 open jumpers here to start the fourth quarter seems to be leading the charge for Bedford in the fourth quarter. And we're back in action, and a little full court pressure by the starting guards for Bedford. Handling the pressure, that's up, ooh. And they got to hit this jumper. This is the shot they need to hit, and they do.
Nice little inside outside for Central on that one.
That's what they needed to do. Caitlin Vincent hitting the open jump shot. That's first I think we've seen of her on the board. And there's Rachel Collins. That looks just a little short. That was a little outside her range, or at least she and there's a little pressure, full court pressure go here. Here's LaCroix with the ball. She's got numbers. Nope, she does not. And a turnover. Well, jump ball. Looks like she tried to do a jump stop and slipped and fell on the ground. The freshman, though, you gotta admire the tenacity of the.
She's got the energy. She's got the aggression.
Yep,
I think she'll mature. She's anything like her older sister, who was a great Central player, now playing at Simmons College. She will be a fine player.
Pass. Nice pass.
We've seen that a few times.
We really have. Mackenzie's got a nice eye for the cut. Actually, there's not just Mackenzie. There's been several sort of cutters, both Haley Driscoll and McKenzie Brown have found open backdoor cutters from the high post position.
They obviously know where they should be looking because the pass is delivered very timely. Those cuts are only open for a few seconds, if any.
That's a nice, strong move. Just couldn't convert.
Not falling for Johnson. She's getting the decent look.
Oh, the little good idea by Rachel Collins. Just a half a step too late. There's a foul by Conrad against Gauthier at the point. And Bedford going to get some more players with some into the rotation there. Maggie McGowan and Gabrielle Hunter checking in, substituting in for the two experienced bigs, Haley Driscoll and Mackenzie Brown.
Central should be able to take advantage a little bit more of the inside game with Bedford's two bigs out.
Well, you know, I'd like to see Gabrielle Hunter's a physical player here. I'll see how she can match up against Johnson.
Bedford extending some very tough man, not giving
nice
Central much running room.
Oh, travel called. I thought that was a nice little move to the left with a step and a half. I didn't see travel there, but
nope.
Ref saw it differently. Nikki Tucci checking in for Rachel Collins with 4 minutes and 38 seconds to go. A 22-point lead in hand. Ooh, almost
close to backcourt there.
Almost a backcourt. Bedford feeling the pressure. And there's a nice pass. Maggie McGowan getting it up there.
Muscles it up there.
There's a nice strong finish by Maggie McGowan. Getting on the board.
Bedford's keeping the floor spread, causing Central to extend their defense, thereby opening up those cuts.
And a deep three contested.
Well, they have to try something. They have to start getting some points on the boards. Nice little turnover opportunity for Central. Can't capitalize.
Here we go. Nikki Tucci's got the ball.
Bedford back on the run.
Nice finish there by Allie Glennon.
Good finish under pressure. Maybe a little bit of a bang knee there on the contact after.
Yeah. Ref giving her a chance to recover. And that, I think, might be the end of the starting lineup here for the Bedford squad, sporting a 52-26 lead with freshman guard. Ooh, nice little hip check there, and then travel.
Got herself a little deep before she knew what she was going to do with the ball.
Yep.
I think that'll come with a little bit more experience and maturity.
Senior guard Isabel Munoz checking in for the first time here into the fourth period with 3 minutes and 29 seconds left to go. Bedford moving the ball on the outside against a man-to-man defense here. And Nikki Tucci on the corner there. Munoz on the corner over to Bree Purcell, who puts up the three. Nice box out there by Maggie McGowan. Great rebound with a jump shot there by Nikki Tucci. Nice rebound and outlet for the bucket by the freshman.
Oh. All created by the offensive rebound by McGowan.
Absolutely.
Keeps the offense alive.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's the post. Just a nice jumper, turnaround jumper in the face by Katherine Johnson.
They just haven't been able to open enough opportunities for her. She's been able to capitalize on a good percentage of the looks and the touches that she's had, but they just haven't been able to get the offense through her enough.
Yeah, that plus the turnovers. They're
they tightened them up in the third period, and they were able to cause some, and that's how they played pretty even and even gained a little bit on Bedford during the third quarter. But Bedford really turned it up at the beginning of the fourth, and with a lot of those inside-outside and shots by Collins, it's quickly over a 20-point lead and extending now.
You know, with I think some smart substitution patterns by Coach Thomas. She put their starting 5 in there in the beginning of the fourth period just to make sure there were no concerns. And now she's got the entire squad that for many of them, this is the first time they've seen playoff basketball experience. Oh, and the number 10, a new entrant into the game. That's Janelle Mackman, a junior, feeling the pressure. Coach wisely calling timeout before a 10-second call. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Bedford leading 54-28 against the Little Green. And as it grows hush here in the gym, what do you think as we kind of look at the brackets? The Bedford game, if I could presume to say that they're going to pull out the win here, is going to be against the Alvern Exeter. You were mentioning you thought Alvern might be a sleeper.
I think it's something that could hold a challenge for Bedford. I'm predicting that Alvern would get by Exeter, so Bedford would see Alvern.
Yep. Alvern's got a 13-5 record, so you know, not all that far away from where Bedford.
No. And not having played them during the regular season,
right,
there'll be a little bit more uncertainty. Scouting is one thing, but having played against them during the regular season is invaluable. Without that, it'll be an interesting opening.
Nikki Tucci handling the pressure very nicely. Ball up top to Janelle. A nice move to the hoop. Oh, nice pass. Maggie McGowan with a nice open look off the back.
Still hustling.
Gonna like the hustle. Ooh, a little hustle plays there. And
getting a little sloppy out there.
Yeah, a little scrappy play here. Minute 56 to go. In the post. Oh, got her on her hip. That was a nice little fake. Got Maggie up on her toes. Slipped around her for the layup. Drew the foul. And we'll be going
Megan
to
Cleary
the
is very slippery around the basket. She's able to angle in and get past people for little short putbacks.
Yep. The 5'10" senior, likely seeing the last of her high school career here tonight. On the line, converts her first shot. And a little short. The rebound. Rebound by Johnson. And Letty Hibbard, sophomore, getting some action. Commits the foul. Johnson, classic shooting style. I can't think of who it looks like, but somebody that I just can't think of who it is. She's a lefty. Get that right angle right up there, right off the side of her ear. I don't know who that reminds. Chris
Very
Mullen,
nice
maybe?
mechanics.
Little Chris Mullen action there, maybe? I don't know. Or a lefty, Larry Bird. And a little pressure out here with a minute 38 to go. Nikki Tucci in the corner.
Central going to play hard to the end. They always go hard to the end.
A little pressure here. And a travel called on Munoz. The minute 24 to go. 54-31 as we head into the final minute of play.
Not only some experience for the younger players that might not see as much time for Bedford, now getting some. It's great teaching moments for Coach Thomas to coach these kids up and look forward to the future and then contributing more.
Got caught up a little bit there. A travel called. The minute and 7 seconds left to go here. Trinity continuing the pressure. Nikki Tucci's going to handle the guard position here against a little full court pressure. And Munoz picks up the ball. And they're trying to do the same set they have with the bigs, but the bigs just aren't as skilled. Nice pass, Nikki Tucci, step back. Nice basket there by Nikki Tucci. And that'll be the final timeout. Well, we've got an injured player here, folks. Looks like Gauthier may have twisted her ankle on one of those plays. And she will go to the bench. The junior guard limps off the court and substituted by Mary Suarez. And give credit to Coach Wenners here, as he's got 40 seconds left in the game. He's coaching his girls. Wants to get that last defensive possession and try to get one more last look as they end their 2013 bid for the title of Girls Division I basketball champions.
Coaching right to the end. It's a good example.
Yep.
They'll have some rebuilding to do.
Yep. And they're losing a couple of seniors, and Megan Cleary and Katherine Johnson. So those two are going to hurt. That's not.
I think there's a few more years of rebuilding that Central has ahead of them.
Yep. Yep.
But like we've talked about at the beginning, they'll come back into a high level of competitiveness in the Division I game.
This is a new set that we've seen from the girls. They started with the double high pick. We hadn't seen that all game. Munoz feeling the pressure by LaCroix. And 22 seconds left, working the ball around. Would like to have seen her shoot that one, Courtney. Oh, and a steal. Yeah, ooh, no foul. Ooh,
oh,
that'll be a foul. A little aggressive play there by LaCroix, and no intentional, nothing intentional there as Mackman just going for the ball.
This is going to put him on the line. Just put him into the bonus.
14 seconds left to go. Bedford leading 31-56. This could be the last efforts of Central here as we look to wrap down the game. LaCroix, the other freshman point guard, we're going to see a lot of her, I think, over the years. As you mentioned, her older sister playing Simmons' Division III? Division III basketball at the former all-girls school, right? And she converts both foul shots, and pressure still on the ball.
Still being tough.
Nice
good
ball
handle there by Tucci.
Munoz couldn't handle it. 7 seconds to go, and this will be the last shot of the game and of the and that's going to end it
aggressively.
That's going to end it here with the Bedford Lady Bulldogs taking on and defeating the Central Little Green in the Bulldog Doghouse with a score of 56-33, and not an unexpected outcome. But what do you take away from this as Bedford moves on into the next round of the playoffs?
Well, I think what Coach Thomas saw and what caused her to take that timeout in the middle of the third quarter was the team beginning to get a little lax in their discipline on the offensive end and hustling on defense. And as she looks forward to the other playoffs, she wanted to make a point that they needed to play their game at their intensity level, because that's what they're going to need to do as they face tougher competition in the playoffs. And although they were certainly, Central was overmatched by Bedford today, Coach Thomas wanted to make sure that that didn't draw down the Bedford's play. It's hard to shift gears that many times.
Right.
Playoffs are a short stretch.
So I think, you know, as we look at the game, I think clearly Coach Thomas was able to get a lot of her players in and get people some playing time, which again, as we talked about, is important in the grand scheme of things for some of the younger players to get some experience. But as you see the intensity and the way that they handled some of the pressure there, any concerns of the intensity level that's going to be required of them for 4 quarters of play as they look to play Alvern here on Saturday here in the Bulldog Stadium?
The consistency is the big thing, and that's probably a concern of Coach Thomas's, and will be a focus in practice, I'm sure. They may not against other tougher opponents if they sort of let up for a quarter, as they did in the third one here tonight, and let Central play them even and actually kind of outscore them by 4 in that third quarter.
Yep.
That's going to prove very difficult against tougher opponents. Tougher opponents if you have that type of let up. And the rest, they have great intensity. I think Coach Thomas was able to see some other people under some pressure because the depth going into a long playoff stretch, the depth of being able to move people in and out without having much of a fall off in the intensity, that's going to be critical. So I think she was able to get a look at some of that tonight and maybe work with some of those players so that they have the consistency and the depth to make the long run in the playoffs.
You know, that's a very good point about the depth of the team. Looks like the coach can go in, you know, 5 players. I saw 5 players that were significant contributors in the game, and especially when you get foul trouble and the intensity that you're going to see as the playoffs continue, that'll be important. Any sense of the depth on some of the other top-seeded team? I seem to recall BG being very heavy on the top 5 or 6 players, but I'm not sure. Do you have any sense of that?
They've improved their depth as far as not having much fall off. Once they go to 7, 8, you know, play into the 7th, 8th, 9 kind of folks off the bench. Coach Hazelton, who's had the program now for 3, 4 years, I think that's one of the signs that is directly related to his philosophy. He likes to play 9, 10 deep because of the style of play that his program is built around. It's high intensity, it's full court. That's a nice complement to some of the top end heavy reliance they had on the Megan Greens and the rest of that really senior class. They're really topping out. So they're going to be a very, very tough opponent down the road should Bedford wind up meeting them at Southern New Hampshire University for the finals, which is expected, but they both have their roads to take care of before they get there.
Well, I want to thank Bill Nawn for joining me. Bill, obviously a knowledgeable about the game of basketball, and with his daughter having just graduated from Trinity, now playing at Merrimack College. Division II basketball, very knowledgeable about both the game and girls basketball here in the state of New Hampshire. So on behalf of Bill, myself, and Mike Currier, who's behind the camera wielding that very efficiently, we want to thank you for joining us here as the Bedford Bulldogs pull off their first round victory in the playoffs. Please join us for the next game on Saturday, where Bedford will play the winner of Alvern and Exeter. Dave Larrivee and Bill Nawn signing out.